Hello and welcome. Today we're at Gateshead International Stadium, and as you see, it's right next to the road. But right now I have the car on charge and I came here. This is the first time I've been to this one, and when I got here there was no one here, which is always good because then you're not fighting over which connector you're going to get. So right now I'm in the car park, right there. See, there. And I ran into a small issue today. Let's go in this corner. That the car's brakes weren't clearing the discs properly, so it was producing some resistance. So what I had to do, after when I found out I had it, I'd already got to Hexham, which was where I was going, and having a walk around there, just doing some exercise, no particular reason for going there. And I noticed that I wasn't getting my usual 5+ in range, and that on some of the roads I was clocking off more miles was lost than what I was covering. So I did a little test, and this is a little test you should do if you find and you're a bit confused whether is the miles down to just the roads and the conditions, or is it down to the car's brakes applying themselves just slightly. So what I did was I removed the regen completely off the car, and I found a piece of road which was either level or going down, and let the power off. So it coasted. When I did that, I could feel the car was braking, or it felt like a resistance was there that I doubted should have been there. So what I did was like this. I kept the regen off. Then what I did is I kept the power on, the road behind clear. Then I applied the brakes, so I was having power and brakes at the same time. Apply the brakes very, very gently. If you do it very gently, you then feel the braking, but you still have your speed. Don't do it for very long. It was only a few seconds. On, off, on, off. Then I tried again to see what it felt like. And what did it feel like? It felt proper. Though it didn't feel like there was any resistance when I had zero regen. Anyone notice the wind picks up? Zero regen, and therefore my miles then reverted back to how they were, that I wasn't using more than 1 mile off my range distance to 1 mile on the actual distance that I was covering. Why is it every time people talk outside the wind picks up? So right now I had to find a closer fueling station, and this was it. So as we said, if you find that you feel there's a braking but you don't have your brakes on and you don't have the regen on, it is therefore your brakes have a bit of dirt in them. It could be down to them not being used all that often for braking, because if you take it, the car brakes with the regen and it brakes all the way down to 5 miles an hour. So only at 5 miles an hour do you use the physical brakes, which therefore mean they don't get used very often. I wonder, I don't think you can see. But I couldn't work out which brake it was because I was driving in a complete straight line. And that's below. So I couldn't work out which one it was that was actually causing the problem. So we're now down to 26 minutes. But that's it. If you find there's a problem, yes, 26 minutes, I'm at 37% now. If you have a problem and you feel that you should be going further than you are for the road conditions you're on. Now this would be different if it was wet. We already know that if it's wet or it's raining, then the water on the ground will be a resistance, and therefore the likelihood is that I will do somewhere in the region of about 4.4 miles to a kilowatt. But today the roads are dry. The only thing I came up with was, if it wasn't the brakes, was it maybe that the route that I picked had more hills and more speed, because at points I was on the motorway doing 70, and maybe that's why I was slightly more lower than normal. But it wasn't. It was the brakes. The brakes were applying themselves when they shouldn't have been. But not really, they were applying themselves. They had a bit of dirt between the pad and the disc, which was rubbing and causing friction, which was slowing you down. So, hope that helps, and I will see you on the next video. Bye for now.